Chapter 9, Business Partners. I spent the majority of my childhood alone, the only boy in a house full of girls. Still, I knew that in order for me to be successful in life, I would need the help of other people. And once I decided to create my own record label, it became increasingly obvious that I would need some business partners. When I first started making music, the only support I had were the homies from the neighborhood. At first, I thought that was all I needed. But if you plan on making music professionally, at some point, you'll have to start working with people who want the same. My friends were the best of friends, but had zero knowledge of the music industry and didn't have the same passion for rapping as I did. So I began to realize I needed to surround myself with people who wanted what I wanted. But coming from NMB, the motto was to not be too friendly. And I really didn't know where to start. The beautiful part about the law of attraction, and I got this from The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, is that from nothing and nowhere, a way will be shown to you. In 2015, while hanging out at my cousin's house, he randomly said, "Hey, come with me to this photo shoot." Photo shoot? My cousin works at Comcast. "Why are we going to a photo shoot?" I asked. He responded he had a friend at Comcast who also had a clothing line. The shoot was for him. Though I really had no interest in going to this shoot, I went along for the ride. We drove downtown near Miami-Dade College Wolfson campus into a parking garage where there were these guys taking pictures. 2 white photographers and the owner of the clothing brand, Run Clothing. They had a girl they were photographing and asked if I wouldn't mind taking pictures. I said sure. One of the photographers said, "All right, give me a me mug," then snapped a photo of me. Looking at it, he said, "Damn, that's a good me mug. Where you from?" I replied, "NMB." He said, "Nah." I didn't understand what this middle-aged white man was getting at. But then he said, "I'm from NMB." "Nah," I said. We immediately hit it off. When I was coming up in NMB, there were not too many white people in the area. But he was 12 years older than me, so his generation was a lot different. I told him I make music, and he said, "Yo, you have to link with my brother, the other guy over there taking pictures." This was Mike Apple, and his brother was David Apple, a.k.a. Apple Jacks. That week, I linked up with him at his house. We went over some music, and he offered to remake the album cover for my first project, called Under the Bridge. He took a very amateur cover art that I had and made it something that could stand the test of time. He made it amazing. FYI, Apple does it all. Photos, videos, graphic design, production, styling, you name it. Since then, we've been inseparable. In the beginning stages, though, it was more so me pursuing my own dream and Apple just helping out while pursuing his. Not really that team feeling I was looking for. That didn't come around until 2016, when I accidentally met some really dope artists. I needed some new merch made, so I looked up a random print shop in Miami and decided to go in person. While on my way there, I decided to take local roads instead of the highway, which would have been 30 minutes faster. When I finally arrived at the shop, for no reason at all, I procrastinated in getting out of my car. I sat there for about 20 minutes, lost in thought. When I finally decided to walk inside the print shop, 3 guys jumped out of a car parked near the front door. I locked eyes with one of the guys who jumped out of the back seat. Approaching the shop, he gave me a dap. As I returned the dap, I asked, "Yo, do you work here?" He responded, "Oh, nah, I thought you did." We all started laughing. We just happened to be walking into the same shop at the same time. While there, the guy I spoke to outside handed me a flyer and said that they were having a show that Friday and I should come. When Friday came around, I went to that show, and it was packed. An indie rap show in Wynwood turned up like this, with young rappers I never heard of? I didn't know what was going on, but I wanted to be a part of it. At the end of the night, I was sitting in my car, happy I'd gone to the show, but with feelings of deep loneliness inside. I said to myself right then and there that I wanted a crew of dope artists around me that I could build with. In that same instant, before I pulled out of my parking spot, the homie who invited me sent me a text with the address to the after party. Instead of going home, I decided to go there. I had even more fun at the after party than I had at the show. That homie's name was Jerome Mello. That night, I met Dina Adine, Riot World, and a bunch of other cool creatives. We began building together and pushing the Cool Era Collective in Miami. I met tons of dope people through them that I would have never met otherwise. However, they only knew people from South Miami. That worked because I knew everybody in North Miami. We joined forces, merged the two worlds, and dominated the city. I connected them with Applejacks and my producer Sean Yee, who had been making beats for me from the start. We all came together like Voltron, and the table was set for mad trips, dope events, and friendships that will last a lifetime. Every time we would hit different events together, I truly felt like I was a part of something special. We just felt like the mob, you know? I finally had my crew of like-minded dope artists. And though most of us have gone our separate ways musically, the vibe that we set in the city of Miami has changed its landscape forever. My ninth manifestation was my business partnerships.